Okay, so it's Double D on your screen, Don Darius, man. You know what to do. And this is basically an exercise. Today, I want to talk about when you have to transition from being who you've been to now becoming who you must be. Because this transition is not something that's. Sorry for the clutter, but listen to me. This transition is not something that happens easily, right? And this is for a couple of obvious reasons. Number one, the your brain, first of all, was not designed to take change easily because your brain was designed to function in such a way that it always finds the easiest way to satisfy a need. So now, if you are going to now want to implement change, it's going to be a struggle because now it's you versus your flesh. And no one can say that's an easy battle. No one can say that they fought that battle and won it very easily. No, there's a lot of work that goes into it. That's why I personally respect anyone who has gone through some sort of trouble and is still able to now come out and speak about what they've gone through. That's a different trip because, like I'm saying, when you are the person that you've been for as long as you've been, right? You are in a paradigm that you've created for yourself by virtue of the habits, the thoughts, the mantras that you tell yourself day in, day out. You are that person because of the things that you do. So for you to now want, or for you to now have to become the person that you want to become, sorry, let me rephrase. For you to now get to become the person that you desire to be, it's going to require you to sacrifice yourself for yourself. You're going to have to sacrifice yourself for yourself. And that is not an easy thing to do because, like I'm mentioning, bro, you're having to now become something that you've never been before. You're going to have to start walking in a different manner. You're going to have to start talking in a different manner. You're going to have to start brushing your teeth in a different manner because the person that you want to be doesn't brush their teeth the same way as the person that you are. That's deep in and of itself to think about it. Even at its most like fundamental thinking, the person that you want to be doesn't sleep the same way that the person that you are does. So, Dawn, you keep talking about how now you're going to have to sacrifice who you are in order to be who you want to be. How do you do that? Well, thanks for asking that question, he said to himself. In this context, right? Having to transition from who you've been to who you are meant to be, right? There are certain things that you have to stop doing in order to allow yourself to have room to now adopt the things that the person that you want to be or the person you are meant to be is doing. Those the two habits, the two paradigms, the two ways of operating cannot coexist because now they operate on different frequencies, on different levels. They have different objectives. The one is meant to keep you comfortable and the other is meant to make sure that you are always growing. It's meant to make sure that you are always progressing. It's meant to make sure that you're always uncomfortable because growth, success, anything worth having, you have to go through an uncomfortable process. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in a cycle of complacency where you get what you can because you don't want to have to do more than what you should. Ooh, ooh, and that's toxic. That's some shit that's kept me where I've been for as long as I've been, honestly speaking. This is self-reflection right here. So now it's focusing on having to let go of the things that you've done for so long. It's now having to put yourself in situations that the previous you would avoid. It's now having to stand up and speak in moments where you'd rather sit down and just observe. And vice versa. Like sometimes in situations where you want to speak and have something to say, it's better to just sit down and listen and be observant and see what the situation is teaching you in that moment. Because honestly speaking, if we look at life at its most fundamental state or at its most fundamental purpose, it's just to experience. Like the most important thing is experience. The fact that you went through it, right? And in this experiencing, like, you have to be authentic. Because when you're not authentic, you don't get to fully experience the event or the situation that you are in the way that you are meant to, because now you are projecting something that you are not. So when you are alone in your room, when you are alone taking a piss, when you're alone, defecating, you'll be thinking about the fact that you did that, but it's not who you are. It doesn't really resonate with the person that you want to be or the person that you aspire to be. So hence why, like in everything, even in that transition from being who you are to becoming who you want to be, you have to be authentic. Because in life there's always a spiritual lesson that will be presented to you when you need to see it. And if you don't see it, or if you don't acknowledge it, and if you don't approach it, it will always come back to you because it was meant for you. So if you want to avoid, who do you think is going to deal with it if it was meant for you? Who? Lessons will be repeated until they're learned. So if you came up with an idea, or you didn't really come up with an idea, if you received an idea, if you received an objective, who do you expect to make that happen? If not you, because it was given to you. If it was meant to be done by someone else, it would be done by someone else, but it was meant for you. This leads me to now the aspect of having to practice who you want to be rather than, like faking it till you make it. Practicing who you want to be, because fake it till you make it still puts in that line of thinking of having to project something that you are not. But whereas if you are practicing the person you want to be, you understand that anything and everything I am doing is as a result of me wanting to become what I want to become, or is as a result of what I am and what I am becoming. Because if you fake it till you make it, you can only fake it for so long. But if you practice who you want to be, you will almost always be in that state of being the person that you want to be, because you are practicing the things that that person is doing. So if you brush your teeth the same way that person brushes their teeth, are you not that person? If you work or have the same work ethic as that person, Are you not that person? Faking it speaks about having to pretend and lie to yourself and say that maybe it could happen. But when you practice it, like, you are literally taking baby steps to becoming that person. You are not going to be doing anything differently from what that person that you want to be is doing, right? Because you're practicing who you want to be. So if who you want to be is a multimillionaire, you have to practice the multimillionaire daily routine, right? You have to wake up at a specific hour. You have to work at a specific hour. You have to work out at a specific hour. You have to do things at a specific hour, just as a millionaire would. But if you're faking to be a millionaire, that now means you have to, project the persona, or to, put up the front of that millionaire person. And even in that, you are going to have to now model yourself from someone that you saw, because you're faking it from a perspective that, okay, if that person did it like that, let me see if I can do it like that. Whereas with now practicing who you want to be, this now puts you in a position to take time to formulate and properly find or establish a way of being. And when you are in the process of establishing a way of being, you are not only going to be looking at one dynamic, you're going to be looking at multiple dynamics and seeing how these multiple dynamics correspond and how they complement each other or how they conflict with each other, right? You're practicing the person that you want to be. And the person that you want to be might not always be as a result of one person. It may be a certain, criteria from multiple people or multiple sources that you want to embody. Like, maybe you take inspiration from a lion, and then you take inspiration from Denzel Washington, and then you take inspiration from Mercedes, and you just put that all into your character, and boom, that's who you are. You understand? Whereas now, fake it till you make it is like pretend, bro. Pretend. You're not when you are becoming the person that you want to become, you don't pretend. You live as that person, bro. You don't pretend. You live as that person. And that, once again, also comes with the dynamic of change. It is the definition of change, because now you think about how would my higher self react to this, and then you act as such, or you do as such. It's not that difficult. It's simple. It's not easy, but it is simple. You have to define a vision for yourself that is so concrete, to the point that even when you fail, it still puts you a step closer to becoming the person that you want to become. Whereas if you're faking it till you make it, when you fail, well, you go back to square one, because now you are pretending the whole time. But if you are practicing the person that you want to be, when you fail, it's like, oh, okay, so I don't do that like that. Now I must find a better way to do it like this. You understand? So that I overcome the obstacle. Because the dynamic with these two, once again, of now pretending and faking it till you make it, or practicing the person that you want to be, right? Is that when you are becoming the person that you want to be, or practicing such, you are in a position of discipline, right? And discipline is ultimate freedom. Whereas now, if you are faking it till you're making it, you are more so focused on motivation. Is it not? Because you're pretending, right? you only feel good about it when it's showing you something, but when it's not showing you something, you don't feel good about it. But when you are the person or becoming the person that you want to be, whether or not you feel good about it, you understand that it has to be done for the greater good. It has to be done because this is part of the way. Because as you walk the way, the path shall appear. So as you walk the way of the samurai, the path of the samurai shall appear, and the obstacles of which that a samurai should face in order to become a true samurai are what you're gonna come across. The obstacles of what to become a true mechanic are what you're gonna come across on the path of wanting to be a mechanic. You get where I'm going? That as you walk the way, the path appears, and in the path there are always going to be obstacles. So you need to use those obstacles as fuel. Don't use them as a reason to quit. Don't use them as a reason to now start something new because what you thought was going to be easy is now something that turned out to not be something that was easy. No. When obstacles appear, you must understand that this is the way. When obstacles appear, you must understand that this is the way. This is the fuel. This is what you should wake up for, bro. You should wake up for obstacles. You should wake up for tough situations because that's when you get to show God the beauty of His creation. The fact that, oh my days, I made such a thing capable of such. It's not to the degree of it's not to the degree of how good or bad what you did was, but it is to the degree of how genius it was. Like how well thought out it was. Because I'm gonna bring to you an idea that you've probably never thought of, or you've probably thought of, but you know it was outlandish. But bro, we exist in the mind of God as thoughts. Right? And hear me out. We exist in the mind of God as thoughts as a result of the fact that God spoke the world into existence. He did not put this and that to make this, or he didn't mix anything, he didn't take away from anything, he didn't, subtract, he didn't add on to anything. He just spoke the world into existence. He spoke life into existence. So that means we are not separate from it. God itself, we are not separate from it. We are a part of it. And the fun part is that you are given the ability to now be able to create in and of ourselves. Hence why they say the body is the temple of God. Temple is here, bro. The temple is here. Your mind, bro. That's where God lives. God lives here, bro. So once you understand that, bro, the way you think, the way you act, the way you behave, the way you are being has an effect on the reality you currently exist in and the reality that you are creating by virtue of your actions in the present. Like honestly, that's understanding that's the leap that you take when it comes to becoming the person that you want to become. Just like Neo. Right, I'm gonna cap it off with that. Just like Neo, that bro. Neo had to come to terms with the fact that, hey yo, bro, I gotta do this. You know what I'm saying? I've known for so long that I was meant to do something greater than what I've been doing. So even as much as, that scene when he jumps off the building, and as he jumps off the building to go land on the other building, he jumps and then he lands face first on the ground. That's how it's always gonna be when you're on the path of, okay, not always, but that's how it starts out to be when you are on the path of being someone you've never been, on being being the person that you wanna be, bro. You have to suck at something new. You have to be terrible at something new before you can be great at it, before you can be recognized for it, before you can be celebrated for it. Why? Because if you're great at it from the get-go, then do you really deserve the accolades? Because you were great at it. So how do you become celebrated for something that you were generally great at? You know, like the mark of a true champion is not someone who just wins. The mark of a true champion is someone who wins with ease. You understand? Not with talent, not just by you winning. No, you win with ease. You win with ease because you understand the ins and out of the game. You understand the dark side. You understand the light side. So whenever you win on a consistent basis. And so yeah, having to become the person that you want to be requires you to sacrifice the person that you are, the person that you've been. Requires you to let go of the people that you've had for so long. Requires you to let go of the objects that you've had for so long. Requires you to let go of the thoughts that you've held for so long, because these things are weighing you down and they are occupying space for the people, the things, and the objects that are meant to uplift you and raise you to the level, frequency, and the vibration of your highest self. You let go of the things that you don't need anymore, and guess what? You have space for the things that you need. You have space for the things that are going to actually help you. Magical, I know, right? But a low-key creative word. You get where I'm going with this. Then you have to sacrifice. Even even heaven demands death. You can't go to heaven just in jail. You know what I'm saying? Even if you do go to heaven, you go to heaven and you come back, but you still have to die, Oxalai. I'm sorry. So become uncomfortable. Like, get comfortable with the idea of being uncomfortable. Be that guy who, does uncomfortable things because you know what, nobody else is doing it. So at least I get to say I did it. And yeah, you can't take that away from me. Just like I said, that life is just experience, man. You can't take anything to the grave. I can't take this phone to the grave. Nah, I can't, because what? I found it here, so I'm gonna leave it here. I can only take with me the experiences and the spiritual lessons that I have amassed in my journey. That's what I get to take back home. That's what I get to take back to the ancestors. To say, yo, gents, listen, it's like this. It's like this. So practice who you wanna be. Don't fake it till you make it. Practice who you wanna be. Do not fake it till you make it. Practice who you wanna be. Because if you fake it till you make it, then you'll always be faking. Practice who you wanna be, because if you fake it till you make it, you will always be faking. And that's where imposter syndrome comes into play. Ooh, rather than identity shifting. Ooh, identity shifting and imposter syndrome. Ah, what is that? Imposter syndrome is now when you feel like you are pretending to be something that you're not. But identity shifting is now once you start embodying habits, ideas, beliefs, of that person that you want to be. You start reinforcing those. You start looking for things that back up that thinking rather than imposter syndrome, where you are now projecting something that you know you are clearly not. So shift your identity. Don't become an imposter. Practice who you want to be. Do not fake it till you make it. Yeah, I think I've said what I need to say. Peace and blessings. I'll see you in the next session.